Hello my beautiful friends, and welcome back to another What I Eat in a Week video. I hope you have been keeping very well. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you everything that I ate in a week as a vegan. It was a very chill, easy kind of week of vegan food, as it tends to be for me, so I hope this gives you some inspiration on some really simple things that you can cook for yourself or for people that you love. And yeah, before we get into the food, if you have any video requests or anything you'd like to see on my channel in the next few months, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below, or you can message me on Instagram. I'm feeling really excited to get into filming more videos and would just love to hear what you would love to see. Let's get into the food. This is what I ate in a week as a vegan. So at the moment here in Australia it is winter, which means for me personally it is hot cacao season. I've been loving having my hot cacaos on the regular, and this morning I decided to make one with some oat milk as well as cacao powder, maple syrup and some vanilla extract. I whisk this all together over the stove and then pour it into my very cute mug. Then for breakfast I decided to make something I have been loving so much lately. So I've got a toasted bagel with some sun-dried tomato pesto, some smashed avocado, as well as some cherry tomatoes, some diced red onion, and then some alfalfa sprouts on top. I also put some salt and pepper, of course, and this was so delicious. For lunch I decided to make a chickpea tuna sandwich. So I smashed some chickpeas in a bowl with some diced red onion, as well as vegan mayonnaise, some Dijon mustard, salt and pepper. I mix this all together, and then I've got some delicious fresh sourdough which I cut into thick pieces, topped with some smashed avocado as well as tomato, some black pepper of course, my chickpea tuna mixture, some alfalfa sprouts, and then some sun-dried tomato pesto once again, which was so delicious and such a filling lunch. For dinner we went to one of my favorite restaurants here on the Gold Coast. It's an Asian fusion restaurant that has a lot of vegan options. So we had some spring rolls as well as some tofu bao. We also had this really delicious tofu pad thai and some garlic fried rice. It was absolutely incredible. Great way to start the week, that's for sure. Then when it came to Tuesday morning, I once again started my day with a hot cacao. There's something so therapeutic about making hot cacao over the stove. It's just like super relaxing. I love it so very much, and once again served it in a very cute mug, of course. So then for breakfast I decided to make a toasted sandwich. So onto my sourdough I put some vegan cream cheese as well as some vegan cheddar cheese slices, some sliced tomato, as well as some barbecue tempeh that I had in the fridge. I also then put some caramelized onion on, and then it's time to toast our sandwich. Of course the vegan cheese didn't melt super well, but it was still very delicious. I love toasties in winter so much. They are just so warm and comforting. Then for lunch I decided to trial this recipe for some sticky barbecue cauliflower, and let me tell you, it is really delicious. I think I'm gonna make like a recipe reel for this or something like that, because everyone definitely needs to try it. It's so good, especially if you're a big fan of cauliflower. I think you'll really like this. The way I decided to serve this today was with some rice in a bowl. I also put some sliced spring onion on top as well as some sesame seeds, and this was a really delicious hearty lunch. Afterwards I was feeling a bit peckish, so I had a snack which was one of these cream-filled wafer bars. These are incredible. If you can get your hands on one, definitely try it. They're so good. And then for dinner I decided to make a tofu tahini stir fry. So I cubed some tofu, I put some oil and soy sauce in a container with it and shook that all up so that it all got nice and well coated. Then I transferred this into a frying pan and I fried it up until it was nice and crispy. In a separate frying pan I put some oil as well as some red onion to start, followed by some carrot. Then from there I also added in some green beans as well as red and yellow capsicum and continued frying this up. Then I added in some garlic as well as some pak choy. Once again, kept frying it up. Then added in some cooked soba noodles, the tofu, and this really yummy tahini stir-fry sauce. It is so good, and this was a very, very delicious, nourishing dinner. Okay, before we get into what I ate on Wednesday, I just want to say a quick thank you to my friends at Squarespace for sponsoring today's video and making today's video possible. As you would probably know by now, I love Squarespace very much. I use it in many areas of my work life. I use it for my own website and my podcast website as well. I'm a paying customer of theirs and genuinely really enjoy it. Probably my favorite thing about Squarespace is the fact that you can make like a very professional looking website so easily. Like, I don't have any web design skills whatsoever. I knew nothing going into making the website, and yet I think it looks really, really good. So I definitely recommend it if you are looking to create your own website or food blog, or even if you're looking to sell products, because they also make it really easy in their commerce section to be able to sell your own products or services. It is a very easy backend to use, and you can also get an app on your phone to track stuff as well. So yeah, definitely recommend checking out Squarespace. If you ever want to try it, you can head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, you can go to squarespace.com/AmandaDux, use my code AmandaDux, and that gets you 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. Okay, let's get back into the food. I started my day on Wednesday with some oats, some oatmeal. Loving it so much at the moment. I make mine with some oat milk as well as water, oats, hemp seeds, flax meal, sometimes chia seeds as well. I cooked this over the stove for like 20 minutes, and I topped it with some apples, oranges, some choc hazelnut drizzle, and some extra milk. Really good, really hearty way to start the day. This day I went to a cafe to work with my friend, and so whilst I was there, I got myself a hot chocolate, and I also got myself this really yummy, nourishing like plate with some pumpkin and bread and salad. It was really, really delicious. In the afternoon, I was in the mood for something sweet, so I had some of this peanut brittle. This stuff also incredible. If you see it anywhere, definitely buy it. We loved it so much in our household. It is just so good. And then for dinner on Wednesday night, I went to my friend's house for dinner for a girls' night. We had a pesto pasta with cherry tomatoes as well as some garlic bread. It was absolutely delicious and hearty and all of that good stuff. And then whilst we watched Sex and the City that night, I also had some vegan chocolate cake that my friend had got for me, and it was heated up and it was delicious, and I think I need some in this moment. On Thursday morning, I started my day with an Amanda Dux classic. I had some baked beans. I love baked beans so much. I had one piece of thick sourdough with some vegan butter, loaded all of those baked beans onto there, and yeah, they were really good. I mean, they're always good, you know? Then for lunch this day, I was having a busy work day and I could not be bothered cooking anything, and there is this new salad bar that's opened on the Gold Coast that I love so much, so I went to go and get some lunch. I had this kale salad as well as this fresh bread that they make and this caramel slice. It was like a whole feast. I loved it so much, and yeah, I'll link this place down below because I definitely recommend checking it out. It's really, really good. For dinner this night, I started by cutting up some broccoli and getting it into pretty small pieces. I put this into a frying pan with some oil as well as some corn that I'd cut off the cob. I also started cooking some spaghetti, and once it was done, put it into a bowl with the sun-dried tomato pesto that I seemingly could not get enough of this week. It is really good, but yeah, apparently couldn't get enough of it. So I tossed this all together, and then I added in my charred broccoli and my charred corn. This is a really random meal upon reflection, but anyway. Also grated some vegan cheese on top, and it was really good. I mean, I will never say no to pasta, you know? It's one of my favorite things of all time. On Friday morning, I started my day with the thing that I have been loving so much lately that I had on Monday, except this time it was on a piece of sourdough. So we've got sun-dried tomato pesto, again, with smashed avocado, the cherry tomatoes, we've got the diced red onion, we've got some alfalfa sprouts, pepper, Did I put some salt? Apparently not. I mixed it up a bit today, but it was really good. And then for lunch, I started by cutting up some lettuce, which is a hot commodity at the moment, so I'm glad I got my hands on some. I put this lettuce into a bowl with some vegan mayonnaise as well as some mustard, and then I tossed this all together. I love cooking with my hands, as you know, so this is the way that I encourage you to massage your greens. I then added in some croutons that I had made, as well as some coconut bacon. I also added in some sun-dried tomatoes, followed by some crispy chickpeas that I had prepared earlier. And this was a really, really delicious salad. I think I'll have to come up with a full recipe for this one because it's definitely a must try. Okay, it was a bit of an early dinner this night and I decided to make pasta again. So I put some olive oil, onion, cherry tomatoes, and these roasted capsicum strips into a frying pan, fried them off, added in some tinned tomatoes, mixed this all together, added in some veggie stock cubes, mixed this together, then added in some spiral pasta that I had cooked, and mix that all together again. Put this into a bowl with some hemp seeds, some crispy kale on top, and called it a day. Okay, Saturday morning, I'm finally having an iced cacao. So sorry that it took me this long. I haven't been having iced cacao very much lately, but yes, I decided to have one on Saturday morning. I was in the mood for it. I was like, a hot cacao simply will not do, so that's how I decided to start my day. And then for breakfast, I decided to make myself some savory pancakes. I do these on chickpea flour and I put sun-dried tomatoes and chives in them. Really delicious and a nice alternative if you're a savory breakfast person but you're sick of having like toast and you don't have anything else in mind. This is really good. I top mine with some barbecue sauce as well as some fresh chives, and it is like really filling. It's obviously filled with protein because it's on chickpea flour, and it tastes really, really good. Around 2 p.m. I started to feel hungry, so I decided to make myself a bagel. I'm having a bit of a bagel phase at the moment, if I'm honest. And on these, I put some vegan butter and some Vegemite, and then I put some avocado on top because Vegemite and avocado is an iconic combination. Once again, it's a must try. I feel like I've said everything in this video is a must try, but this is definitely a must try. Honestly, I think that this dinner might be the star of this video. I started by frying up some chickpea tempeh, added in some carrot, red capsicum, green capsicum, and pineapple, and kept frying this up. I made this homemade sweet and sour sauce, added this in, continued frying everything up. It just was like bubbling away, soaking up all of that flavor. And then I served this with some fluffy white rice. I'm doing like a sweet and sour tempeh and veggies moment. So good. I then topped this. Oh, there was Cara having a sniff because she thought that it smelled so good. And I topped it with sesame seeds and it was so unbelievably delicious. It's Sunday morning now and I'm really having a bagel phase, as is probably obvious. I put some smashed avocado on these bagels, then I also added in some sliced tomato. I topped it with some red onion as well because I love red onion so much at the moment. And then of course I topped with salt and pepper, and this was a delicious way to start the day. When it came to lunchtime, I in a bowl put some lettuce, cucumber, tomato, and red onion, as well as some vegan mayonnaise and a little bit of olive oil. And once again, I'm massaging all of this together to get it nice and well coated, I guess. I also made more of this delicious sticky barbecue cauliflower and topped it with some hemp seeds, and this was really yummy, nourishing Sunday lunch. For dinner and to close out the week, I decided to make a pumpkin and leek soup. So I fried off some leek and I also roasted some pumpkin. Then I put these into my blender. So I started with the leek, followed by the pumpkin. Then I added in some coconut cream as well as some tinned tomatoes. I also added in a bit of water and some veggie stock cube powder stuff, and I blended this all together until it was nice and smooth. I had to let it go for a little while Whilst that was happening, I also fried up some crispy chickpeas because I love having crispy chickpeas with my soup, and that's exactly how I decided to serve it, and brings it to the end of what I eat in a week. Alrighty, my beautiful friends, that brings us to the end of everything that I ate in a week as a vegan. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you got some recipe or food inspo. As always, thanks so much for being here. Thank you so much for your patience with me this month. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you very soon for another video. Bye!